touches upon that. It's kind of a nice thing. It can be a really nice thing. And there are lots of interesting stories about how people have used deep personalization to break through in a big way. One of my favorites was this fellow named Dom, who got in touch with me because he said, I want to tell you my story. I read How to Get a Meeting with Anyone, and it changed everything. Here's what happened. When I was recruited to be an SDR, a sales development rep, by this big late stage startup, what they said was, we want you to come in, and one of the things we want to make sure you understand we need you to do is you're going to make 100 phone calls a day, and all of your cohorts are also making 100 phone calls a day, and they were cold calling, and what they were finding was that every day they'd make a lot of calls. Very, very few conversations ever ensued, and no one was selling anything. And so he said he was lamenting this with a friend over dinner one night, and the friend said, you got to get this book, How to Get a Meeting with Anyone. So he did, and from that he said, okay, I'm going to use deep personalization. I'm going to use gifts that are specific to each person that I want to reach out to. So I'll still do my 100 phone calls a day, but now I'm going to start researching some of the accounts that we really would like to break through to, but nobody's been able to touch them or break through to them at all. And so he came up with the first one, and he did some research, did a profile scrape, and discovered that the fellow was really into family, cooking, and technology. So taking 2 out of 3, he had this custom apron. Found an apron and had it custom embroidered with an Arthur C. Clarke quote about technology being sufficiently advanced will appear as magic. So he had that put on this barbecue apron and sent it to him. I called him back right away and said, hey, this was really cool. I thank you so much for this. And by the way, what do you do? And tell me a little bit about yourself. And they ended up doing a 6-figure deal. And so now his cohorts, Dom's cohorts, start hearing about this, and they're saying, Dom, what are you doing? And help us do this. How can we do this? And so he said, well, yeah, sure, simple enough. Here's how we do it, and started helping people, some of his colleagues do this. So the first one said, okay, here's a guy, I know that he's really, really interested in falconry. So they said, okay, great, and let's go to a falconry site. They ended up going to falconry.com perhaps, and the owner, they spoke to the owner, and the owner said, hey, if you're going to send someone a gift, you can't go wrong with one of those gloves. So, they have those gloves that the birds sit on, and they're very ornate. And this is the sport of kings. So these gloves are like gloves that a king would wear, I suppose. But they're very ornate, and they make great gifts. And so, here's one, he said, $95. And they thought, okay, great. I mean, it's not $1,000 like Dan Waldschmidt spends on a sword, for example. So $95. They downloaded the picture of it as well. He sent the picture to the, let's see, so Dom's colleague sent the picture in an email to the prospect and said, hey, I just want to let you know I'm sending you this glove. I know you're really interested in falconry. I'm sending you this glove. And I'd just love to talk to you for a few minutes, if I could, about what we're doing. And the guy wrote back immediately. Now, this is another one that no one had been able to break through to from their group. But he wrote back immediately and he said, hey, that's pretty cool. Thank you so much. But look, I'm not a prospect for what you do. But listen, I really appreciate what you did here. Well, then the glove actually arrives and they hear from the guy again. And this time he's saying, hey, remember me? And remember I told you that I'm not a prospect for what you sell, and I'm not, but I got the glove. I love it. I just want to thank you so much. And rather than just thanking you, I want to help you because I know a couple of people, a couple of fellow CIOs who need exactly what you're selling. And I'm going to make some referrals for you. A couple more 6-figure deals ensued. And pretty soon, management is saying, okay, what's going on down there? What are you guys doing? What changed? And they all pointed to Dom and they said, well, Dom's been helping us. This is what we've been doing. And so they promoted Dom to sales manager. And that was right about the time that the company was acquired by Cisco for $4.7 billion. So within a year, because of his adoption of contact marketing, Dom went from being a new graduate, college graduate, hired as an SDR, to being the sales manager of a company, a multinational $4.7 billion company, because of contact marketing.